Well, the Sun Model Type 4 keyboard, after taking it apart, does in fact have, let me get this one here, does in fact have the little pads that like to jump and bounce around all over the place. There we go. This part here on these particular keys snaps into those little holders there, those little locks. The compact keyboard is the same thing as this. So these pads will just snap into a compact portable keyboard, and it's got the new, these keyboards have been refurbished, and you can see the date. What I would like to do is be able to find the kit they used to refurbish this keyboard instead of having to buy the whole keyboard and take it apart. But these pop out easily enough. Okay, now this is the TRS-80 Model 2 keyboard, and what we'll have to do is the pads that were on here were glued or double-sided sticky taped on, which it peeled off easily enough. What I'll have to do, I keep losing it in the camera, here we go. What I'll have to do is get these pads here and put some glue on that side there and glue them on, and it'll be just like new. Well, that's a lot of keys to take apart though. I guess I need to get to work. Of course, so far the easiest way to do it is to pop off the keys from this side here, and then just push that piece through. Once you push that piece through, then these little pads pop right off real easily. It's kind of hard to get the screwdriver down in there just right without damaging the foam and pop them out. So that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. This is the top of the keyboard. It's a French keyboard, French Canadian keyboard, which I'm not sure. Oh, I guess that's what makes it French and Canadian. These keys here. Yep. $16 on eBay plus shipping. I got 2 of them. There's another one in the box there. Yeah. I'll have to post a link so everybody else can find it. What I was hoping I could have done was to reuse these in the Model 2 keyboard. That way I wouldn't have had to take all those apart, but these are completely different. This is the Model 2 keyboard. It's completely different than what was in here. So that won't work. However, though, it looks like the that part there would fit. You know, you pop that out and that would fit inside the Model 2. So you could replace the Model 2 keyboard with this keyboard with these keys on it. But let's go with the original look. Now here's the Model 2's keys. I took them all out. Of course, I picked the black one. And I cleaned each one of the keys. These keys were absolutely nasty. They were black, gray, with a bunch of gunk on the side. What I ended up doing was taking a bowl of warm water, and I took a bottle of 409, just a quick pour in there, kind of mixed it up, and I let these keys soak in that 409. And then when I took them out, how all that dirt just wiped right off. And all these keys look beautiful. And I've just been letting them sit here dry, and have the little fan running, cooling them or drying them off. Next thing to do is to clean this nasty thing. Probably a toothbrush. me just toothbrush, clean that off. Then we'll start getting those new pads and putting them all together. Put everything back in here. There's a space bar. I'll be able to get this keyboard back together. Hopefully. I've got another keyboard similar to it. So I can remember which spot the keys go in. And then here's all the springs. This will be fun. And clean these pads off. We'll be all set to go. Yeah, this is working out pretty easy. Once you get the keys off, you just push it through. Just like that. Then you're left with these. Take a tiny flathead screwdriver and just work it underneath that plastic disc, and whoop, and that's it. Then you chase down the piece that flew across the room. There it is, way over there. Anyway, I'll get them all off, and then pop these off separately, and that way it won't fly across the room. But you get the idea. The keys pretty much just pop off. And instead of springs, they have these little rubber boots here. They act as springs, which I suppose if you were missing any springs on your other keyboard, you could probably use these. They just come right out. A little springy. And, you know, since you're not going to use this keyboard anymore, you know, it doesn't matter if you damage the keys as you take them out. I just did that with my bare hands, but I've been using a screwdriver to pry them off. It works a lot better that way. Anyways, working on it. Got a few more keys left to go. I got this blanket sitting here in case any of these pop through, that I would catch them. It wouldn't roll on the floor. But anyways, moving right along. Here's the pads. And I'm just doing a couple at a time because they get too many on the table and they want to bounce and jump all over the place. Just using rubber cement, putting glue on there, and then taking them and just putting it over there and setting them over there for dry. That's all there is to it. I'm using rubber cement because it's when it hardens, it's still somewhat flexible. Since these keys are going to be moving a lot, I wanted something that wouldn't dry to a hard, like Elmer's glue would dry to a hard surface, and it might crack. This won't crack. Anyway, got quite a few more to go. Also, there's these other foam pads that are darker colored. They were on the shift key, control key. I think the space bar too had one. They're a little bit firmer than the lighter colored ones. So I'm going to save those for these black ones here that are the shift key, control key, escape key, things like that. Or until I run out of these other ones. Most of them though are the lighter colored ones. Anyway, yeah, those are just a little bit firmer. Not too much, so they don't really feel like that much of a difference, but we'll just keep them organized. Well, that's got them all done. And I have leftovers. and some darker ones. I put the two dark ones on this. So they're all drying. Cool. It was actually pretty easy. I've just put them, the side I wanted to glue up first, and just put glue on the pieces there and just pressed them down. They seated themselves naturally when I pushed down on them. And leaving them like this, they'll dry in the proper position. So, okay, so now I can take apart the other keyboard and add to my little bowl here, and then get the Model 12 keyboard put together. That'll be good. Alright, we got all the screws out of this keyboard. We're going to do the second one now. When you first open it up, there's a cable here that connects where it's got a connection for a mouse, and then the cable here, or either side, they're interchangeable, that goes to the computer. Now, these keyboards didn't come with the cable, which is probably a good thing, because I would have just thrown it out. And it's not a standard PS2 cable either, so it's a different kind of setup. But anyway, that's what it's connected to in there. And it's just a little tab you push down, and the whole thing comes undone there. And that's it. It's got this nice little RF shield grounding. Oh, there's a tag. October 23rd, 1990. Huh. That's certainly better than 1980, which is what I'll be replacing. And this is the back of the keyboard. Oh, and this is going to just come right out. More date code looks like 1992. LEDs. And there's your. It's a nice keyboard. And then all of these little screws gotta come out. Every one of them. And they're just little Phillips. So you gotta use a little screwdriver. There's a little Pierso buzzer thing. If you ever can desolder that from the board, you can use that. But let's see. And they're in there pretty good. And I know it's hard to see there. That's the screw I just took out. That's the screw that came out of the Model 2 keyboard. So they're very, very similar. One's just a little bit longer, but the size and the threads are the same. So if you lose some of your screws, you can use the screws out of this keyboard. That's the whole point of showing that. So don't just throw those screws away. You can use them. Helps if you watch a movie while you do it too. That's how far the movie got, and yep. Got all the screws off, and then this circuit board here just lifts off, and there you go. Some of those look like they're dirty already, oxidized or Huh. This particular one is definitely not as clean as the first one I took apart. But oh, the pads look good. Someone's definitely checked this out, signed it and dated it, though I wished I could figure out. Might still be 1990. But these are definitely in a lot better shape than the ones that are in the in the TRS-80 keyboard. That's how they work. We'll get a blanket underneath this and start popping the keys off like we did before. That would seem to be a lot easier, a pretty easy way to do it. Just pop off all the keys and then take a screwdriver and just punch these through. There we go. Those are still drying. I'll get back to watching Star Trek.